All right, we're basically done with our first round of the logo here, and it's time to send it to our client. In this case, again, we're just pretending because we've made a logo for ourselves now. For you, you've hopefully made your own logo, so you don't need to send this to a client, but this is how I would approach the next phase of this. All right, I would probably make another look, something like this, just with a different color altogether. Maybe it's the same looks, or maybe it's another round. And then what I would do is hit Shift-O to get my artboard tool. I'll click once on the artboard I want to change here, and the name is called Artboard 1 Copy, because remember we copied this one from that other artboard at the very beginning. So I'm going to rename this as V1. And I'm going to click over here and name this artboard as V2. And then if we look at the top, we can see this is artboard 03, this is artboard 02, and is named V1 there. If I named it something else, like, I don't know, something else, you'd see that name right there. Okay, so this is the second artboard, but we're naming this V1 as in the first version to show them. This is the first artboard that we have on our screen, 01. If you want to change the order, I can click on this artboards window and rearrange this, and now V1 would actually be artboard 1. Okay, but I'm going to drag it back just so I don't get confused if you're not already confused. Now, it's time to export these things. So I'm going to go to File. Well, first I'm going to hit Command S just to save my work right now. Then I'm going to go to File, down to Export. And for right now, I'm just going to throw this on my desktop. So click on Desktop, and I don't need to change the name. It's Derek Logo Comp R1, because when I use artboards, and I'm going to use the range 2 through 3, it will automatically add the artboard name onto the end of this file. I could also, if I wanted to do the first and the third, I could do 1, 3, and it will do just the first artboard and the third artboard. But I want 2 and 3. All right, I'll use that, and a PNG is fine, or a JPEG is fine. I'll use a JPEG in this instance. I'll hit Export. I'll change this to RGB because chances are, since I'm probably going to email this or send it to my client in a text message, it'll be in RGB for screen. So I'll click RGB, and I will put this sRGB color profile there just so that way they have a better chance of seeing this how I intended. And because this is just a comp and I don't want them to take the final design and run with it, I'm going to change the screen setting to medium, and I'll turn down the quality just a little bit just so it's not a print production logo that they could essentially steal. But that's a whole nother topic about getting paid first for your work with deposits. Anyway, little tangent there. Okay, so those are exported. We'll jump back into Finder, and I will jump over to my desktop, and there are those two exports. And you see added _V1 and _V2. So there's that first version, and there's the second version. So now what do you do with this? Well, a couple ways we could work. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just ping it directly to my clients. So I might open up a new message window here. Since I'm my own client, I'll send it to myself. So I might grab both of those, and I just say, and this is using the iMessenger app on iMessages on Mac, but I just say something. If I knew the client, I might be like, yo, check out these first looks. And then I would drag and drop, and obviously I'm texting myself, so it's going to be a weird conversation where we see everything in doubles. But anyway, I would just send it to my client that way. That's one way you can do it if your client is tech savvy and that's the way you want to communicate. We also use Basecamp, so I might make a new project in Basecamp. Let's just call this logo export sample. And I'll create a new project, and I would just make a new discussion and just say first looks, and just say here's a few ideas for the first round of logo designs. All right, and then select files from your computer or drag and drop, so I can come back over here and drop those into Basecamp. And then when I email that, it'll email it to people on this project. So I'll just post this message, and now they can get an email with those designs, or they can log into Basecamp and see it. So that's my workflow. That's how I work with a logo from beginning to end. The only difference now would be handling revisions, if there's any revisions, and then, of course, packaging up the final file.